In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as the VanEck CEO confirms that the Bitcoin spot ETFs will begin trading on Thursday, which means approval tomorrow on the 10th and the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETF officially on the 11th. Let's go. Also in today's show, new January 8th Jim Cramer prediction he shared. I think Bitcoin is topping out, by the way. Translation, Bitcoin is heading to $100,000 per coin. Thanks, Inverse Cramer. Also, we'll be discussing Bitcoin setting new all-time highs in Turkey, Argentina, Egypt, and Lebanon. Also, the Bitcoin price is catching up to the hash rate implied target of 460,000 per Bitcoin, according to Max Kaiser. He also shares that 100,000 is a magnet. The move from here to there can happen within the next 48 hours. Let's freaking go. Also in today's show, this Bitcoin bull cross is about to hit for the first time since 2016. We'll also be discussing MicroStrategy, already up nearly $1 billion from Bitcoin thus far this year in 2024. We'll also be sharing Bitcoin mining stocks top $3.5 billion in trading volume as GBTC outtrades 99% of the ETFs. And speaking of ETFs, a week of high stakes and expectations. I'll be breaking down the latest from the top ETF analysts. We'll also be discussing the one and only Samson Mow making a very bold prediction and sharing a thread on why the Bitcoin price is going to $1 million in days to weeks. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also be sure to smash the like and hit the bell icon as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. The goal is to get this channel to 100,000 subs alongside the Bitcoin price, and we may hit 100,000 within the next 48 hours, according to Max Kaiser. I'll also be sharing his latest tweet. But anyways, fam, today is pod episode number 1517. I'm your host, JV, and today is January 9th, 2024. We got a lot to cover, so let's dive right into our market watch as we do each and every day. And welcome everyone just joining the stream. I appreciate the support. As you can see here, we got Bitcoin trading just under $47,000. We had a nice little pump yesterday of roughly 2,500. We have Ether down 3%, but maintaining just below 2,300. And the real Gary Gensler just chimed in and sent a super. Here's what Gary has to say.
501, baby. Let's go.
Well, there you have it, directly from the real Gary Gensler. We have Solana in the green, and zooming out on the monthly to get a perspective of where we're at on the month. We got Bitcoin still up 7%. We have Ether down 3%, BNB up 25%. That's even with all the shenanigans with, CZ stepping down and all that stuff. Solana up 36%, AVAX up almost 10%, and ICP is up a whopping 122%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at 1.71 trillion with just shy of 70 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. Look at that, 53.7%. Let's go. Ether dominance on the decline at 16%, probably going to hit in the 15s by tomorrow at the way things are going, as Bitcoin is stealing the spotlight right now. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours. Helium up almost 16%, followed by Satoshi Vision up almost 16%, followed by Celestia up almost 11%. Below that, WeMix, Lido DAO, Mantle, and eCash. Now, which altcoins are you most bullish on for this bull run? Let me know in the comments, and I appreciate that. And checking out crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective of the market. Let's look on the daily. You can see the majority of the alts are in the red as, like I said earlier, Bitcoin still in the spotlight. We also have Satoshi Vision up 16% on the day. And zooming out on the monthly, pretty impressive gains overall. ICP 132%, Corgi AI up 180%, Say up 162%, Stacks 92%, and Sats 176%. Let's go. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. We're finally back in extreme greed with a 76. And yesterday was a 71. Last week, a 71. And last month, a 74. So there you have it. My crypto fam, it don't get more bullish than this. We have ETF approval potentially tomorrow, the launch on Thursday, and we have a Bitcoin halving in 3 more months. Sign of the times, fam. But anyways, we have a lot to cover, so let's dive into our Bitcoin technical analysis, aka astrology for men. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price likely heading next Here we go. Bitcoin's facing turbulence amid asset managers filing their last-minute Form S1 updates for their spot Bitcoin ETFs with the US SEC. January 9th, the price of Bitcoin briefly fell 3% on Binance, tumbling from 47 Gs to 45.6 in 5 minutes, according to data from TradingView, but it quickly bounced right back to nearly 47,000, which is approximately where we're at the time of this live stream. Now, the spike in volatility came amid asset managers like BlackRock and VanEck filing more S1 updates just a day before the expected spot Bitcoin ETF approval date on January 10th. ARK Invest in 21 shares followed BlackRock and VanEck, filing their S1 amendments on January 9th as well. Grayscale Investments also joined the scramble, updating its S3 form. And according to ETF expert Eric Valchunas, the S1 refilings are based on last-minute comments from the SEC on January 9th. Quoting him here, "Hard to tell what has changed at first glance, but IMP thing is that the unheard of the 24-hour turnaround time about filing, comments, and refiling tells us that all the parties are aiming to get this show on the road pronto." The last-minute S1 refilings came the day after the 10 asset managers filed their S1 updates on January 8th, with several analysts expecting the S1s to be final before the much-anticipated approval date tomorrow, Wednesday, January 10th. The SEC subsequently issued additional comments on those S1 filings, which some industry observers have interpreted as a delay signal. As Perian shares here, spot Bitcoin ETF update, the SEC just issued additional comments on pending applicants. This is a delay signal. What are your thoughts? However, ETF watchers like Bloomberg James Seyfarth argue that those additional comments by the SEC do not necessarily mean a delay. Expect to see more amendments tomorrow because of this, and that's precisely what we have been witnessing. Other breaking news, the VanEck CEO confirmed that the Bitcoin spot ETFs will begin trading on Thursday. Quoting him here from this interview, "All the fees came out this morning," referring to yesterday, "because they're all getting ready to basically list on Thursday. That's not been filtered out through all the news." Another breaking news, we got the ultimate God candle signal coming from Kramer. He says, I think Bitcoin is topping out. By the way, translation, according to me, Bitcoin is heading to $100,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that inverse Kramer sentiment. And this just in, Bitcoin sets new all-time highs in Turkey, Argentina, Egypt, and Lebanon. Let's go. Also, breaking news, Max tweeted, Bitcoin price is catching up to the hash rate implied target of 460,000, and I'm not going to scroll down so I don't put any damage on your eyeballs looking at Bankman-Fried half naked. But nonetheless, I digress. 460,000, send it. Let's get it. That's ultimately adding a zero to the current price action. He also says that 100,000 is a magnet. The move from here to there can happen within the next 48 hours. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the one and only High Priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. Now, Peter Schiff had an interesting tweet today. He wrote, "The approval of multiple U.S. listed spot Bitcoin ETFs may happen tomorrow. Since Bitcoin failed as a digital currency, its only success has been as means of speculation. The hope is that these ETFs will open a door and allow a new group of gamblers to enter the casino." Here's my translation of what this means. If you listen to me over the past 13 years and invested in gold, you've actually lost money due to inflation. If you would have listened to Max Keiser over the past 13 years, you're now up over 20 million% on your Bitcoin investment. Cheers, family. So there you have it. Who do you listen to? Peter Schiff or Max Keiser? Let me know. Anyways, fam, I'm enjoying the chat. It's lit. Keep the comments coming. But let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with this Bitcoin bull cross, which we haven't seen since 2016. And do you remember what happened between 2016 and 2017? Yes, Bitcoin went parabolic. It soared from, I don't know where we were at in 2016, maybe $500 a coin. But by the end of 2017, it was close to 20,000, which hit that high, for that cycle. So let's discuss this bull cross. Here we go. Bitcoin's preparing to repeat a rare bullish chart, move absent for the past 8 years. In a post, the popular commenter known as Mustache revealed the key Bitcoin price moving average crossover in the making. Here we go. Bitcoin back near 50,000 as the crypto market renaissance continues. Yeah, Excitement over the first spot Bitcoin ETF in the US is currently driving the price action, but new all-time highs remain far beyond reach. Behind the scenes, there is reason to believe that the current moves on Bitcoin are highly significant. As Mustache notes, on the 3-week time frames, the 21-period exponential moving average is attempting to cross the 50-period simple moving average, a sign that short-term price performance is correspondingly strong. That's right. The crossover is distinctively unusual. Its last appearance came all the way back in 2016. It's quite a while ago. That was actually the year before I entered Bitcoin. At the time, the 3-week chart went on to make gains, culminating in Bitcoin's old all-time high of 20,000, which we hit in December of 2017. How many of you were around back then? Let me know. Now, in addition, the buy signal is the super indicator. Watch out for the rare signals, as pointed out right here in the 3-week Bitcoin chart. You can see the 21-day exponential moving average with the 50-day simple moving average crossing. Now, betting on a post-ETF come down, Bitcoin is giving traders cause for both short-term and long-term optimism. While already near its highest level since April of 2022, Bitcoin has room for further upside. Price indicators, including the daily RSI and Bollinger Bands, suggest skeptics nonetheless persist with their downside Bitcoin price targets, primarily relying on the hype around the ETF subsiding once the decision on whether to allow them, due by January 10th, tomorrow, passes. Now, among them is the now notorious crypto trader Capo, who maintains that Bitcoin should return to as low as 12,000 in the future. I think that is crazy. He's officially the most bearish analyst that I know of for this market cycle. What are your thoughts on that? Hence why we don't really cover him no more in the show. Interesting weeks ahead. The ETF news should be released soon, as explained these days. I expect the market to pump first, Bitcoin to 48, then 50,000. I think that's very realistic targets right around the corner. ETH to 25, 2,600. The alt should pump more, especially the low caps, which was shared here. After this, which should take a few days, the market should reach a very important local top. That's when I will start opening swing short positions, aiming for new lows. I think that's crazy here. Again, this is coming from Capo, but I wanted to share with you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The chart, which shows here, highlights the area around 30,000 as the first stop-off point from the controversial retracement. So it seems like we got another solo way on our hands, but there you have it. Let me know your thoughts with the price action as a result of this ETF approval. Jim Cramer says it's a sell the news event, so therefore we inverse Cramer and we know we head into the moon. What are your thoughts? You gotta love it. But let's dive into our next story of the day. We should have 1,000 here shortly. Keep the likes pumping, keep pumping the stream. We appreciate it. We discussed the bullish cross. Now let's discuss the latest with MicroStrategy. Already $1 billion in profit, and this year is just getting started. Not too shabby. Shout out to the Giga Chat himself, Michael Saylor. Bitcoin has earned the American software tech firm MicroStrategy more than $800 million this year in 2024, and we're only 9 days into the year. Data from statistics resource Bitcoin Treasuries confirms that the pioneering corporate investor has made almost 9 figures on Bitcoin this year. Let's go. The ongoing Bitcoin price renaissance is particularly enjoyable for MicroStrategy, owner of the world's largest corporate Bitcoin treasury and the very first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Last topped up December 27th of last year, which was like a week or two ago. The firm's stash now totals 189,150 BTC. Not too shabby. And as of January 9th, this is worth approximately $8.8 billion, $840 million more than on January 1st. Also like to point out, MicroStrategy's goal is to own 5% of the circulating Bitcoin supply. They already own roughly 1%. So you do the math. They're looking to accumulate 1 million BTC. The impressive year-to-date gains from just one of the various examples of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin comeback. On January 8th alone, when Bitcoin saw a 3,000 daily candle, the firm netted most of its 2024 returns of roughly 600 million. Not bad for a day. When it first purchased Bitcoin in August of 2020, the largest crypto traded at just under 10,000. And after its latest acquisition of 14,620 BTC, the cost basis became $31,168 per coin. And as reported last week, MicroStrategy CEO, Mr. Saylor, is himself enjoying a similarly successful investment, personally owning more than 17,000 BTC. Also got to point out, in a recent interview, Michael Saylor announced he's going to be selling MicroStrategy stock for the next, I think he said 4 months or 3 months. I forget if it was 3 or 4 months, but whatever. 90 or 120 days, he's going to be buying personal Bitcoin for his personal stash and selling his MicroStrategy stock. So keep that in mind. Now, should Bitcoin continue to climb, Saylor said it can soon enter the world's rich list, but still needs a Bitcoin price of over $1 million to beat the current leader, Elon Musk. Now, run the math. If anyone holds 1 million Bitcoin, such as Satoshi's wallet, $1 million times a million is a trillion, so we may see some trillionaires coming. What do you think? Now, a curious contrast, meanwhile, comes in the form of MicroStrategy stock, whose price has fallen more than 15% year to date, as per data from TradingView. But you also got to keep in mind they were up 350% last year. So they may be starting the year off on the low, but it doesn't justify what will happen for the rest of the year. Are you guys, any of you bullish on MicroStrategy? Please do let me know. Last week, Saylor revealed a $216 million sale of his company options, revealing he planned to use the liquidity to further boost his own personal Bitcoin exposure. That's why he's the Giga Chad. And as the new year began, he uploaded MSTR returns relative to stocks, gold, and Bitcoin itself to X, revealing that the former had outperformed. Quoting him here, this year Bitcoin empowered MicroStrategy. He summarized in the accompanying comments, and you can see MicroStrategy year-to-date performance for 2023. It rose 346%, Bitcoin roughly 160%, the NASDAQ 43%, the S&P 24%, gold only 14%, Peter Schiff, bonds 2%, and silver 1%. So there you have it. What are your thoughts on MicroStrategy stock? Let me know your thoughts. Keep the chat lit, my family. Let's get it, but let's dive into our next story of the day. We still got a lot to cover. Let's discuss the miners and the ETFs going on right now. The headline reads, Bitcoin mining stocks are up $3.5 billion in trading volume as GBTC outtrades 99% of the ETFs. Here we go. Crypto mining firms saw robust trading volumes on American bourses on Monday, but with some mining shares even outpacing well-known U.S. tech giants. The total trading volume amongst the two largest Bitcoin mining firms, Marathon Digital and Riot Platforms, was a combined $3.55 billion on January 8th, according to data from Yahoo Finance. Marathon Digital even secured the position as the top traded stock in the U.S. on the day with the volume of 112 million total shares traded, according to Yahoo. This put the Bitcoin miner ahead of Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, Apple by a clear margin. Tesla, the second most traded stock in the U.S. on Monday, had a daily trading volume of around 85 million traded shares comparatively, as we can see here. Now, meanwhile, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, traded close to $500 million on January 8th, which is more than 99% of the 3,000 current ETFs observed by industry expert Eric Balchunas. He added a reminder that they are bringing a volume gun to a knife fight if they launch with everyone else, in reference to the anticipated pending approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs tomorrow. Grayscale hopes to convert or uplist its fund to a spot ETF, pending the green light from the SEC. Quoting Balchunas, GBTC traded close to $500 million today, which is more than 99% of the 3,000 current ETFs, and a reminder that they are bringing a volume gun to a knife fight if they launch with everyone else. That said, the 1.5% fee will act as a repellent, another fascinating subplot. So they have a tremendous amount of volume, but their fees are higher than everyone else. Now, Marathon's outperformance comes amid a wider boom in the Bitcoin mining sector. January 8th, Core Scientific secured a $55 million equity investment as it emerged from debt crisis. Now, as reported, the $55 million equity offering expired last week and was oversubscribed. The firm plans to relist on the NASDAQ exchange after bankruptcy proceedings are finalized, joining the high-flying mining stock outperforming this week. And additionally, we have CleanSpark announcing a strategic agreement that could see it purchase up to 160,000 miners by the end of 2024. Let's go. And speaking of Bitcoin miners, also Russia's largest miner is looking to open up shop in Ethiopia and create a Bitcoin mining hub. So this isn't just a local United States thing. This is a global phenomenon occurring right now. Also, let's not forget El Salvador using geothermal energy from the volcanoes to mine Bitcoin as well. But anyways, fam, we still got a lot to cover. We just discussed the latest with the miners for the ETFs. Well, now here's the latest Bitcoin ETF updates coming from the experts. Here we go. Headline reads, a week of high stakes and expectations surrounding the spot Bitcoin ETFs. As the decision on Bitcoin ETF near, aspiring crypto businesses, investors, and regulators are taking definitive steps to best prepare for the unknown. The total weekly outflows from various Bitcoin short investment products have exceeded $1 million, and the Crypto Greed and Fear Index is finally in extreme greed, as I pointed out earlier. Moreover, Standard Chartered predicts Bitcoin will reach 200,000 per coin by 2025 if the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved. And we all know we may get this approval as soon as tomorrow within the next 24 hours. Now, also keep in mind, the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered Bank is none other than BlackRock. Boom, shakalaka. Bitcoin short ETPs, which are exchange-traded products, record 1 million in weekly outflows, anticipating spot Bitcoin ETF approval, while the digital asset investment products, or ETPs, saw inflows of 151 million in their first week of 2024. Outflows from Bitcoin short positions totaled over 1 million, as you can see here, flows by assets. Now, earlier, many market pundits predicted the potential approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF could be buy the rumor or sell the news event, but the latest digital asset investment flow data contradicts that claim. Take that, Jim Cramer, with significant outflows in the past several weeks. Now, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index signaled extreme greed market sentiment amongst investors. And according to the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, Bitcoin's market sentiment score is currently a 76 out of a possible 100, which is the highest it's been for a minute. Its highest score since Bitcoin hovered around its highest price of 69,000, which we reached back in mid-November of 2021. I think that was on November 10th. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Bitcoin Sentiment Index briefly tipped into extreme greed December 5th at a score of 75, and Bitcoin broke the 40,000 level on December 4th, surging to 44,000 a day later. Now, before that, the index last swung to extreme greed was November 11, 2021, when it scored a 77. And according to data, Bitcoin reached its all-time high price one day earlier. That's right, November 10th, fam. How many of you were there to witness it? Let me know. Now, Standard Chartered tips $200,000 Bitcoin by late 2025 if these ETFs get approved. That's right, the multinational bank Standard Chartered forecasts Bitcoin to reach 200,000 by 2025 if Bitcoin ETFs are approved and successful as investment products. As pointed out here by Lark Davis, shout out to the crypto Lark, quoting him, if ETF-related inflows materialize as we expect, we think an end 2025 level closer to USD 200,000 per coin is possible, says Standard Chartered's head of digital assets and precious metals analyst Suki Cooper in a January 8th report, which has been shared on X. The bank's price prediction assumed that between 437,000 and 1.32 million Bitcoin would be held in United States listed spot Bitcoin ETFs by the end of 2024. The firm estimates this to equate to between 50 and 100 billion worth of inflows. Now, while multiple asset managers filed S1 form amendments on January 8th as part of the process to receive approval for listing shares of their spot Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. exchanges, crypto asset management company Hashdex didn't issue an amended form, as Safeart points out here. And I'm actually going to be sharing his latest updates with the latest updates on that here in a minute. And according to Bloomberg analyst Safeart, Hashdex's Bitcoin ETF app differed from those of other firms in that it was applying to convert an existing crypto futures ETF. Hashdex submitted its app to the SEC in August, proposing a futures investment vehicle that could also hold spot Bitcoin. Now, Gary Gensler issues a warning on crypto ahead of the potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Here's what Gensler has to share. The SEC chairman, Mr. Gensler, called on crypto investors to keep some things in mind, as many asset managers await the final word on the approval or denial of their spot Bitcoin ETF apps. I'll just read the one point he makes here. Number one, this is coming from Gary. Those offering crypto asset investments and services may not be complying with applicable law, including federal security laws. Investors in crypto asset securities should understand that they may be deprived of key info and other important protections in connection with their investment. Whatever you say, big chair Gare. Despite the uncertainties around the SEC's decision to approve one or many Bitcoin ETFs at the same time, applications are in for Valkyrie, Wisdom Tree, BlackRock, VanEck, Invesco, and Galaxy, as well as Grayscale, ARK Invest, and 21 Shares, Fidelity, Bitwise, and Franklin Templeton. So yeah, the S1 filings on January 8th were expected, part of the deadline from the SEC, following many 19B4 filings on January 5th. And while Bolt suggested a forward move from the SEC to allow crypto ETF listings on U.S. exchanges, they do not guarantee approval. Now for the latest updates from Safeart regarding the fee war going on. Here's how things stand in the Bitcoin ETF fee war, expecting approval orders tomorrow and potential launches on Thursday. morning. So here's the fees. Let's check it out. We have Bitwise with the lowest with 0.2%, and also their waiver. Many of them are waiving the fees until they reach $1 billion or for the first 6 months, including them. We also have ARC21 at 0.25%, also waiving fees for 6 months or when they hit $1 billion. We have Invesco with 0.39% for the fees, waiving the fees for 6 months or to $5 billion. We have the iShares Bitcoin Trust, which is ultimately BlackRock, with 0.2% and waiving the fees for 12 months or for the first $5 billion. And then it just goes on and on. VanEck, 0.25%, Franklin, 0.29%, WisdomTree, 0.3%, Fidelity, 0.39%, Valkyrie, 0.49%, Hashdex, 0.9%, and Grayscale, the highest by a long shot, 1.5%. But then again, they have the most trading volume. And he updated us here. Updated fee war for the Bitcoin ETF race was missing WisdomTree's waiver that was added this morning. Looking for potential approvals tomorrow and potential listings on Thursday. So there you go. And WisdomTree shows 0.3% and also 6 months or $1 billion with waiving their fees. So there you have it, my crypto fam. But anyways, fam, now for our featured story of the day. Samson Mow just shared a epic thread on why Bitcoin is likely to hit $1 million per coin days or weeks after the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF. And guess what? Rumor has it, we're going to get the approval tomorrow on January 10th, and we can get the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETF the following day, Thursday, January 11th. So let's freaking go. Here's the latest from Samson Mow. Pump those likes, pump the stream, and let's go. Let's start right here. 1 million Bitcoin incoming. Samson Mow says, here's why we're going to $1 million Bitcoin in days to weeks. It is max pain for the most people. Bitcoin has a way of doing what we least expect and in the most disruptive way. For example, at Jan3, we have many plans and meetings set for 2024. $1 million Bitcoin would derail everything. Let's go. So here's his first big point. Ideally, we have a good couple of years to onboard nation states at Jan3. Fast 1 million means we're out of time. 50 countries reach out to frantically, and we're all overloaded. All of the careful planning and proposals are out the door. Just smash buying BTC and no sleep for the team. He continues. Number 2, fast 1 million Bitcoin means that Plan B stock the flow model breaks again. Just when it was looking like it was going to track correctly, max pain. Number 3, Lightning is completely unusable for anyone not using a custodial wallet or Aqua Bitcoin. Fast 1 million means the fees are super high in dollar terms. No new Bitcoin users can afford to create a new Lightning wallet. Max pain. He continues. Number 4, fast 1 million Bitcoin means Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy never reached their goal of stacking 1% of the supply. So close, so very close. Max pain-ish. Upside is MicroStrategy is now in the top 30 most valuable companies in the world list. So right now, MicroStrategy, just FYI, they control roughly 0.9% of the circulating Bitcoin supply, meaning they're so close to 1%, and their goal, as I mentioned earlier, is to control 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. So this would be max pain for Saylor and Strategy. Now, number 5, El Salvador and other countries missed the window to issue Bitcoin bonds and accumulate substantial stacks of Bitcoin at sub $100,000. The IMF debt still looms. Max pain. Number 6, Christine Lagarde, Jay Powell, and many highly regarded economists lose their jobs. But I think we're okay with this one. Hyper-Bitcoinization and fiat hyperinflation begins within 1 to 2 years after $1 million Bitcoin. Max pain. Number 7, everyone's favorite gold bug, Peter Schiff and the gold bugs suffer a collective mental breakdown after Bitcoin goes 1 million fast. Gold still hovering around $2,000. Max pain. Number 8, the plebs are not immune either. Many will be stuck with a number of undispendable UTXOs worth 500 to 1,000. Many others, not you of course, will sell at 100,000 only to buy back at 500,000 per Bitcoin. Max pain. Number 9, 8 billion people on this planet just missed the most important opportunity of their lifetimes to get into Bitcoin when it would have made a significant economic difference. They can now only work to earn Bitcoin. I think this is the biggest one. Max Payne. And number 10, the entire legacy financial system will need to very quickly reorganize around Bitcoin as a new base. Businesses will need to be able to accept Lightning Network and liquid payments. Companies will have to rapidly convert cash reserves to Bitcoin, and none of them are remotely ready. Max Payne. And he continues. So my point is that the probability of Bitcoin making an unexpected move that results in max Payne for the largest number of people is the most likely outcome. That means $1 million Bitcoin fast. Also, because of these reasons, plan accordingly. And here's a tweet he shared back on December 16th, about a month ago. The ETF approvals aren't priced in. The halving isn't priced in. More nation state adoption isn't priced in. Renewed QE isn't priced in. The multiplier isn't priced in. The Veblen effect isn't priced in. All of this happening at the same time isn't priced in. So there you have it. And let's read some of the comments. Axel wrote, what do you think the chances of the ETF approval is in January? I don't trust Gensler. I bet he pushes the ETF as long as he can. Samson responded, I don't think Gary has a choice in the matter now. He has to approve. That's my sentiment as well, because to not approve it, in my opinion, would be criminal. What do you guys think? And then someone wrote, Samson, contagious bullishness that's not priced in. Smash buying at $900,000 per Bitcoin isn't priced in. So there you have it. And he shared another tweet off the back of the Kramer FUD. When Kramer said Bitcoin's topping out just yesterday, he responded, 1 million Bitcoin is locked in now and wait. So let's go. How many of you are locked and loaded? Holla at your boy. Now let's read this headline. Jan3 Founder predicts 1 million Bitcoin price. But here's the catch. Here's this article which was just published amid the ongoing discussions in the crypto world. Samson Mow's recent series of posts have grabbed significant attention, suggesting that Bitcoin might reach a staggering $1 million per coin. Let's go. Adding another layer of speculation onto the market. As he shares here, if you don't believe 1 million Bitcoin or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you. Sorry, but not sorry at the same time. What's this all about? Let's dive in. Mow's forecast went beyond just the idea of Bitcoin's value reaching new heights. He also discussed the potential challenges such as sharp increase could bring. And amongst those affected would be Mow's own project Jan3, which helps countries adopt Bitcoin. A sudden rise might disrupt Jan3's plans and increase the rush to buy Bitcoin due to the growing demand. That's right. He is in talk with many nation-state leaders to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender. In fact, he predicts that 3 more countries will adopt Bitcoin this year in 2024. And I just read that 10-part thread to you. Now, Mow didn't stop at personal ventures. He also discussed potential consequences for key players of the crypto industry, mentioning how a sudden increase in Bitcoin's price might challenge the established models, including Plan B's stock to flow model. Additionally, he pointed out the possible challenges for companies like MicroStrategy, known for their Bitcoin investment strategies, if the Bitcoin price were to rise so dramatically. Again, MicroStrategy is looking to control 5% of the circulating supply. They're just shy of 1% currently. And if we shot up to 1 million per coin, it's going to be very difficult for them to achieve the target. Mao also highlights the potential impact on countries exploring Bitcoin. For instance, countries like El Salvador, which are looking into Bitcoin's uses, might face challenges if the Bitcoin price reaches 1 million per coin before they can implement their plans, such as issuing Bitcoin bonds. I also like to point out, according to Max Kaiser, they're looking to launch a Bitcoin spot ETF now in El Salvador with Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out, unlike all the ETF apps currently waiting the approval in the United States. Continuing prepping for changes, Mow's Insights offers a perspective on how a significant rise in Bitcoin value could disrupt the current strategies and reshape the crypto industry. It underscores the need for both established entities and newcomers to be prepared for the potential shifts in the market. So there you have it, my crypto fam. What are your thoughts surrounding his $1 million per coin price prediction? Let me know in the comments.